Yacha Obibia Mobibia Kwaba at the Pepe channel so YouTube. So Casano from my Kakra. I think you understand why it is so very, very unfortunate, very, very unacceptable situation. I've always said that human life must not and ought not to be sacrificed on the altar of any other thing. The reason is that once it is born, it doesn't come back. The life, you don't have two. It's a free okwa. I know that the guy who pulled the dagger and stabbed Pooley, given the second opportunity, wouldn't do that. But he's done it. The young man is dead. He's gone. I find it difficult to put together this particular video because I have a special relationship with Pooley. For those of you who listen to me on radio, Pooley, we've made him a member of our crew, and maybe he comes there to talk about Kotoko. I've had a lot of discussions with him. Just Thursday, Friday, I had discussions with him that you will continue Monday. And then I have to do a video yesterday when it was confirmed to me on radio that he had passed. I couldn't break the news. Now, my chief executive producer, and my emotional strength is that tough. I'm very tough emotionally. Things don't get me down easily. But this one really, really, really got at me because the circumstances. And the BNC, medical catcher say, so what reports yes, Pooley Kokontokwa, and will be warned, say, disregard that. It is not true. If somebody is telling you that he was involved in a fight, and Tokwa, and Pooley Kontokwa, and I will be a warning, say, disregard that. It is not true. Pooley was not involved in a fight at the time he was murdered in cold blood. He was not involved in a fight. Now, let me give you a blow-by-blow account of what actually transpired. And we have videos. You remember videos, you know? Now, watch the videos, and you understand and appreciate this one. Very, very unfortunate. It is not about blame game, but we will say it as it is. Now, even when it's about our own people, we still tell them the truth. Makacho said the difficulty in journalism is when you look into the faces of your own friends and you tell them the truth. The difficulty in journalism is when you are able to look into the eyes of people in authority and speak truth to power. That is one difficulty associated with this our job. But we have vowed to do it, and it is the reason over the years you have built that reputation at the Amaya home. And yes, I there. But you decided to crib be a was a mono. Yabakasano creno. I'm a nipa said ye see etie. So yes, Enra Ebra Asante Kotoko Timbas and Echo Drew and Swatreno. They had it very tough entering the stadium. The first question I want to say, why? Why should that happen? But I've said this time without number, timeless times that Argentina team to Kwaine be Drew Babayara. Gaining access to the stadium becomes a difficulty. Say team A to Kwanebia or Kodru Legon Sports Stadium. I don't know what is it? We are in 2025 for Christ's sake. I finish 2025. Yeah, free 60s, about 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2010s, the 20s. We are in 2025. I then a Yakobo League match. Now Obi drew venue. Now gaining access to the stadium. I had general that video and video we screen also say some people were trying to prevent Asante Kotoko Munsi from Yamama Basi Murem stadium stadium. Construction was made in such a way that when teams are visiting, the teams will enter the stadium with their buses. Then some weed smoking supporters. I'm not saying it will be on but mostly they are on weed, and then they behave as if they are mad, and then they create chaos. So the confusion started there. But Nana Pooley minimum no. Enra na we different. Asembesi a ya na I'm say so. It will video no clearly about say when Uncle prevent Kotoko bus, Nana Pooley raw the top shirt no. Normally the Pooley that I know, and Koroye no say he will be involved in the altercations, but he was that quiet until me say other Kotoko team security for the eba ya omo ebeye any nkofo no be gidi abas in room no. Enra supporters at the stadium were not involved in a fight. So one kubia na asam no tia no wabusem. The supporters in the stadium were not involved in a fight. A unfortunate incident I see park and so something that is quite inexplicable, because I will find it difficult to understand why the Kotoko players reacted the way they did. Seriously, I find it very difficult. My own boy in Team Manu, how he ran, watch a video now, speed no running at the core, see no baby, na issue no ever. Anyhow, copying will be born, we are paying the border, but my share Debbie's. I've watched a branch of the day, Sergio Ramos, or Stampo Messi, Yabani, you know, from near trouble or so. And can Manchester United and Arsenal during the days of Patrick Vieira as captain for Arsenal and Roy Keane as captain for Manchester United. I've seen Gidi Park, so na you be free. But this one degenerated because some people are who's a home team didn't be access to the inner perimeter among your officials, but they were in there, and those are the people who are almost starting those chaotic things attacking Kotoko players now. No more so air Kotoko ni bido. Men justify Kotoko players no medical condemn you. Men justify my players no. Omo and something that besos also. But now supporters any right so who in a perimeter so Kotoko is idea no more. Ebra Honorable Ignatius Balfour, and Honorable, I'll mention your name for good reasons. Honorable Ignatius Balfour, the owner, bankroller of Nswachama Football Club. Ebra confusion is seeing a referee in the free park and so. Honorable got onto the field to, as it were, appeal to the supporters to remain calm. And Nswachama supporters back the idea when Justice Blay picked the object thrown at him and returned to the stands, and our reporters were there, and someone on those things. It's honorable AC from or Kame supporters, and for good reason. Udim say Enra GFA issue statement. What have they done? They have banned Nswachama from using the Nana Kromansa Park. They've banned the venue. So clearly, now honorable Ignatius Balfour or prevent this idea. Unimpa this is no team no omo performance home and now maji 3 points at the account 70 and maji that, so they have 20 points at home. Overall they have 21 points, and out of that 21 points, 20 imagine if you 1 point away. So clearly if they are banned from using the venue, there is likely unbeko relegation. Omunimpa it's honorable wanted to avoid that situation, and unti ena osi from Nebra honorable AC from and our friend James Kwesiapia, Maile, Asante Kotoko IMC member, or a head coach at the Jenny of Falcon of Sudan national team now, on the head coach. So, Honorable invited Kwesiapia to join him to go and calm the supporters. But Asante Kotoko supporters now, no more James Kwesiapia and chain, including Nana Pooley, one and Nana Pooley. Ekaso Mumpene, or Muma Kwesiapia Enko. And this is the reason. Abraham first half no. Na Kwesiapia a person call dressing room and Asante Kotoko players no eko kasa, but Nswachama supporters ne omo no prevent here omo mpene omo Kwesiapia anko. They prevented him from going. Enti supporters no say now have the asamaba now or supporters no misbehave, which possibly can lead to a ban of your venue, which eventually led to the ban of the venue. Have there Fresa Kwesiapia the manenko. And so they did not allow Kwesiapia to join Honorable Ignatius Balfour to go and appeal to the supporters. They did not allow it. Now fast forward. Me see where a blow by blow account of what happened. Fast forward. Honorable Ignatius Balfour a free inner perimeter inside the pitch na side back. Of course, on say team owner or TV VIP obi. Now Oba say he still wanted to speak to Kwesi Appiah. And Asante Kotoko supporters no more no. E decided say omo ma Kwesi Appiah nko. Now I don't know for a fact if Nana Pooley any Honorable Ignatius Balfour or a former member of parliament for Sunyani West, a former minister for employment and labor relations. I don't know if he knew for a fact. So, per eyewitness report, Nana Pooley prevented virtually blocking the man from getting access to James Kwesi Appiah, or blocking physically. And Honorable did not take it lightly. He pushed down Nana Pooley piano. Yes, in that chaotic scene, in that chaotic situation, we hear Pooley use some words which were quite insulting on the person of Honorable Ignatius Balfour. At that point, Honorable Ignatius Balfour equally on the supporters and say, "Wamu emeyi already din Nana Pooley in free park na so, omunyin in free park na so." So the tax, I call them tax because they behave like tax. They entered the inner perimeter or the VVIP area and physically wanted to take Nana Pooley out, but they were rebuffed because now Kotoko supporters and also they didn't find it easy. Some Pooley they appear every park and so because Kotoko supporters and so it was not easy and it was not successful. So after minutes of chaos, we pushing, shoving, and all of that, the tax of Nswachemai, who were invited into the VVIP box by the owner of the club, so they abandoned the mission and then they left. Almost so Daniel money echoy. But eyewitness report HSA at that moment, the threats kept coming. Whoa, and then free uncle, whoa, and all those threats kept coming at the young man Nana Pooley. And game no resume. At the time the game resumed, Asante Kotoko supporters in Penifana one park and so a take decision. Yes, with the benefit of hindsight, I disagree with the decision taken by Kotoko Penifana with the benefit of hindsight. The benefit of hindsight, they were thinking, okay, because those tax meant harm and communicated harm and were bent on causing danger. Their thinking was that, okay, let's call Nana Pooley na ompie enkope baby nyina so that your pon game na omoba number na say ni oni ho, because wrong reportage had gone out say Pooley any Honorable Ignatius Balfour akon, which Honorable Ignatius Balfour entimi ngina baby anhwe nyame anim enka say Pooley ni nakon. Honorable Ignatius Balfour ontimi ngina baby anka say Pooley e born. But reports na akọ round they say Pooley abọ papa na bi mu kranse yesi wabọ sum on who's asem see ani pani ho, but you see. And so the tax, when they saw their boss calling them they meant it, they wanted to take him out, but supporters na ampene enti chairman Kokwampo K5, former National Circles Council chairman, and the other leadership na no, their thinking was that, okay, let Pooley leave the stadium, get to where it is safe, so that when we close, we pick him, then we head to Kumasi. That was their thinking. I said, with the benefit of hindsight, we can criticize that decision, and I can say it was wrong. Okay, I said, Kotoko na Diana Star supporter say, Omo Emma, then administrative manager, and she gave me. Now say Emmanuel Newton Dasuberi, Efi Stadium. But the difference was that Emmanuel Newton Dasuberi was conveyed in a police vehicle with armed police officers to the Doma police station. Or Bambo Kakra at the time he's leaving. Where the Chairman K5 in Penny are 2 supporters of Kotoko. So mu enlidi Pooley and Fanimpi. And it was very dangerous taking that decision because you were walking into the lion's den. You were walking into the trap. The guys had laid ambush around the stadium. Senka Pooley ewo VIP hostela. To say the tax and buy your money to be any MP. Clearly, and Kobenya support from the Kotoko fans. And I hear there's one lady who works at the radio station of Honorable Ignatius Balfour. No, so a part of all the confusion. I was VIP or no person they Bob Pooley trim. A bra Pooley a PA no ne Nipani Union aircon. We hear it is this same lady. And I try say or the ball a ball a branch trim. Then a blockade a ball no knowing say guy no Jan in China second and so the guy pulled the knife and according to eyewitness stabbed him 5 times. And we hear say Akwanam say he's gained notoriety for that. James is what the Okwana Pobi bit Makunipa. Nejuma no minim say we su ye adwuma. Say bia ukọ abatwa ye omom na ntwe on the okunipa. Eti yes all this kind of war no we no say adwuma na si. And so I'm saying it on authority once again. Disregard any report from anybody who purports to say that Pooley was involved in a fight, and in the ensuing fight he was stabbed. He was not. He was actually going out of the stadium on the advice of Mpenfo ne omonam said be ayepon and go for ma VIP or make chaos say bi on be bo bi no and on take his decision no. As I'm saying, with the benefit of hindsight, it was a wrong move, wrong decision, because it played into the hands of the people who wanted to harm the young man, and eventually they harmed him. Now, Ebra, Omo, or this kind of Pooley, no. 2 people are Omo Epieso, Nana Kotoko, so okay, Nana Kotoko, during the days of Dr. J as Kotoko executive chairman, Kotoko board chairman, now a very loud supporter of Kotoko. Yes, Nana Kotoko. I think the Dr. Manukrakoti Nations FC or call Biana or support to Nations FC. According to Nana Kotoko, who was there, Omube drew on an branch and the second one we are signed the second Senona or Janiako and Ono Ikanako. Yes, the 9th had already stabbed him, but there was an ambulance there. And so the story continues. Why is it that the ambulance did not attend to Nana Pooley? And the shocking revelation is that ambulance no driver no. Later no driver no key no. This comic of a story, you can tell it to the Marines. They can go and to the seas, the deep seas, and tell that story to the Marines. Shout as same way because it just doesn't make sense. See, your stadium, one of the reasons is the ambulance air present at the stadium, and it's supporters. Ebet me akwa mo bia pra, players. Ebet me akwa tackle mo bia pra, supporters. Bet me collapse. Management members omo tesoro bibi bet me atobi. So the ambulance and its attendants are na dey engineer friends say emergency service. Are engineer for ambulance say emergency service. It is emergency service, and for that matter, the people are always supposed to be there. I had to say, a fire service car, but fire tender, by say, I mean, it doesn't make sense. They were trying to cook something, but they didn't finish cooking it, so it didn't make sense. And in the video that you watch on the screens, you will see Nana Pooley lying in a pool of blood. The ambulance parked there and then. The ambulance, you know, 2 steps away from baby. Yeah, this kind of will be not damage. Try some of the Atari stop him journey. Meanwhile, a very deep cut, according to Nana Pooley, a branch channel, this kind of a word or shed up shinko. And another moment, a conclusion, yes, so expert in Zadiano. Now, if you are said, oh, dear, what Jane of what you think, expert there. Surgery to an expert. Obia Jidin is on or expert or space and go for GD or expert some research the idea about who expert I and so the unim cities this can would nipokuno. Who ye nipa. I've always said something that, and this thing I normally say it on radio. Almost in Yango Pompo nipa said in so. It's always Yame born said in so. There be Yami to more nipa masabi won Jimmy said total stupidity. Pure nonsense. You forgive me for my language today, but I'm speaking with a lot of emotions because this is something that is avoidable. That somebody prevents Honorable Ignatius Bafo from getting access to Coach Kwesiapia. He pushes him down. The boy renders an apology. Mirefio. It's Asante Kotoko. Mpenyi for Ekache na Pooley. Emma na Pooley ni pamiensa. Sorry ko bum kotoje. So Honorable Ignatius Bafo kotoje. Send an amicro go to them with they knelt down to apologize to the owner of Instruction. And he still kept saying that the boy should be taken out of the VIP. Sure, boys now omunya adwuma bia na adwuma wa ya ne say na beti susun eti also your friend is kobu obi no akobo no da bia mbuza say da achi say ne banyini no buza say da na ya adwuma ba nim de obeka so ne babuza say da na ya adwuma ba da me de na me wo nti ye kaze mko bo bia makobo ne kaze mko ku bia makoku no once Honorable invite omo so mbra box no omo they don't do anything apart from obama omo ska no de didi when they are on weed dance any omo trim wano wi ojibi it is an boss now stop it now the others if in the boss was say get this person out or person man the boss no say woman instructions I mean yeah I carry to the latter and so that is one of the stupid things that they were doing, trying to carry out the orders of the chairman of Instruction to the orders, the owner. Say, yeah, my instructions here, but ampa instructions no maya a branch no. Yeah, may assure Honorable Ignatius Bafo, the death of this boy will haunt you for the rest of your life. It will haunt you because you know very well, say, this is not something that should degenerate into somebody losing his life. So Pooley had to lie there, no help coming, the ambulance people not responding, key driver, and I am not a medical person. But if you watch the video very well, at the point that Pooley 9 is you are hanging the 9, but you could see it going down. Then Nanity or this side of a technical one side. So I'm not surprised that he was pronounced dead on arrival when they got to the hospital. And Mame Fantu just said the mortal remains of Nana Pooley was carried to Kumasi yesterday from Sunyani into Asante company for MK arrangement. I'm an ambulance. If Nana Pooley. Normally, you know, I don't share videos of people's health and people's death. But this one, I'll make it black and white. I'll share that video. You see Pooley being carried into that white ambulance and driven off to Kumasi. That is a blow-by-blow account of what actually happened at Nsuatre. Not the game itself, but why and how Pooley died. He was not fighting anybody. And I'll be just kind of the guy was only thinking that yes, on the way on the chroma, the way hey, now you are here for sad. I mean, is that life that cheap that somebody has gained notoriety that way the way I'm surprised, but the least we are expecting from the Ghana Police Service, the security agencies, is to quickly apprehend this guy and then put him before the law courts for him to face the full rigors of the law. For Nsuatre, the least said about that statement I'm releasing, the better. The statement in itself is embarrassing. The statement has given them up. For them to say, "Zabranch and bag room or no and run or passandia no pano and or call babina or new bikunya toka owner nipacron the buy no bemedan." So Nsuatre for they are just telling us that they know the person who killed Pooley, and they know that Pooley new bikoye gidi or bar and then nipacron a bar stadium. And again, that is the reason their stadium ought to be banned for life. I just said Nsuatre stadium what is will be no be as no penakuna. And what the Okwa no answer will remote the second room and answer the room. I mean, who wrote that statement? Was that person in the right frame of mind? Nipacron chose my statement now, or okay now, or in the right sense, it's not chose that statement. I'm scandalized by what happened. I'm disappointed that a life is lost on these grounds. Where are you? The entire Pooley who say or prevent Ignatius Bafo, assuming without admitting that he even threw a punch at Honorable Ignatius Bafo. Should that be enough grounds for somebody to go home, bring a knife, a dagger, and pierce it into his lower abdomen to take life out of him? Because assume in case is here, but the engine took some young fancy Pooley a ball or more chairman assuming without admitting. Is that the punishment for what he did? I mean, I'm disappointed, and I expect the law to take its course. I expect that people will be brought to book. But of course, nothing can replace the lost life. Nothing. Even if somebody is apprehended and sentenced to death by hanging or by shooting, it still doesn't bring back the life of the young man who married on the 25th of August 2024. 25th August 2024. How many months on? About 5 months, and we've lost him just like this. It's unfortunate. Thank you. I'm not in a good mood, but for God and for country and for our job, we'll continue to do it.